What's going on, guys? So today I'm coming at you with a different type of video than normal. Every BMX rider over the years that they're riding definitely tries to find a favorite shoe that they ride in, something that has the best amount of grip, best protection, and just like suits your, riding needs the most. Like obviously different type of riders are gonna need different type of shoes. But after about 4 or 5 years of riding, I think I found my favorite pair of shoes, and I've been riding in them for probably about 2 to 3 years now. And these are the longest lasting shoes I've ever had, most comfortable, best gripping, and I think overall the best shoe I've ever ridden in. And I'm gonna go ahead and share that with you guys today. So in total, I think I've tried maybe about 4 different brands of shoes, the majority of those being Vans and Nikes. I know I rode a bunch of different pairs of Nikes, but I never felt like I really had a good grip on my pedal. I feel like they were really comfortable and they protected my ankles and feet well, but I could never really have that like grip that I wanted. And Vans, I always had the grip that I wanted, but they were never as comfortable or didn't last as long as I'd like them to until I found this pair of shoes. And that pair of shoes would be the Vans Alomars. So as you can see, these shoes come up pretty high. The back's open, so like it doesn't restrict your mobility like up and down, but these, like I guess tongues, or I don't know what you call them, but these wrap around your ankles and they are really nice, especially like once you learn stuff like tail whips and bar spins, stuff like that where you can hit your ankles on your cranks or your frame and stuff. Having these shoes really helps, because when I first started learning tail whips, I didn't ride in these and I'd bash my ankle on my frame all the time and it'd be awful. These are definitely the longest lasting pair of shoes I've ever had. I think the first pair I had for probably about a year, that's when I rode the most. That's when I rode probably 4, maybe 5 times a week really hard. And those only lasted about a year. And then I got my second pair. That's these right here. I just stopped riding in these the other day because I'd almost worn through the bottom. But I had these for probably about 2 years. I got these I think May before I worked at Woodward 2 years ago. And they held up really well, like as you can see, like, so this material right here is more of a cloth, and then this is leather, and then up here's cloth as well, but I pinched my crank so you can see that it kind of tore a little bit of a hole right there, but I mean it still works. Lots of wear marks everywhere. This is starting to come unstitched. But other than that, the laces never broke. And then the bottom of the shoe, even after 2 years, like it was still a little bit, like there was a little bit of padding, but not much. But definitely, all right. Now I'll explain why these are my favorite shoes. So obviously, all right, I like the look of them. These are a little bit different. The other pairs that I've had have both looked like this. The first one was all leather, so like leather, leather, leather. This one's cloth, and then leather for like the middle part of it, and then the ankle guards are cloth as well. But these are a little different. These are all pretty much all cloth. So the toe is cloth, the middle's cloth, and then this part's cloth, and then you have a little bit of synthetic leather wrapping right around the top of the shoe, which I think has a nice clean look. The main difference about these shoes and the other 2 pairs that I've had are that these are not the off the wall edition of them. So both of these other ones, they've both been off the wall. Like range, you can see the OTW right here. And I think the only difference between these and I guess these are the regular ones, these were a little bit cheaper. These normally ran at about $100 and these were, I believe, $70, is the bottom. This grip on the bottom lasted way longer than any other Vans shoe I've ever had, but at the same time I feel like I've gotten a lot better about not using my feet to stop as much. Like I just slide my back tire out to slow me down when I needed to, and I learned to control my speed a lot better, so I wasn't sticking my shoe in my tire trying to slow down or like sliding it across the ground to slow down either. But like I did every now and then, and you can see that like there's still plenty of grip on the majority of these. This is just worn off from my pedals, because you can see like the spot where like the 3 little pegs on the top of my pedals go on my shoe. Same with the other shoe, like it's even more prominent on this one, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's just where my pedals would go all the time. But these shoes held up for 2 years. I think the longest I've ever had any shoe before that was maybe 6 or 7 months. The main reasons for that are, 1, they're comfortable, 2, they look good, 3, they definitely have the best ankle support out of any other shoe I've had. I've never really ridden in high tops before, but I definitely recommend these after riding in them for so long. I like to tie them really tight because I don't like my feet sliding around in my shoe whenever I ride, which can be different for other people. Some people like that, some people don't. But especially for like hang fives and bar spins and stuff like that, where I have to pinch my cranks and suicides, I don't like my feet moving around inside of my shoe because, I don't know, it just makes me a little uncomfortable. The bottom, so the inside is pretty squishy. There's a lot of padding in here, all around like the rim of the shoe. And then the bottom has quite a bit of padding. I'm still waiting to see how well the bottom of this will hold up since it's not the off the wall versions, but it has held up pretty well so far. Like I can't even see any different marks or anything, and I've been riding in these for almost a month now, and I don't see almost any marks of wear on the shoe at all. Yeah, it still looks really good. So if you had to ask me and I had to give an answer, I've been riding these shoes for 3 years and I would not recommend pretty much any other shoe. I know these can be a little bit harder to find. I ordered these on Amazon. The other pairs that I've had before, like these, I found in the store, but I don't know if the Vans store by my house was out of stock or something, or they're starting to slow down the production of these shoes. But it's the Vans Alomar, A-L-O-M-A-R. I think they retail for about $60 to $70 for the normal versions, and then the off-the-wall ones are around $100. If you had to ask me between the two, I would definitely recommend the off-the-wall ones just because those are the two pairs that I've had that have lasted the longest. I've only had these for about a month, so I'm not 100% sure on how well they're going to compare to these, but after a few months I may come back and make another video talking about how they do compare. But bottom line, best shoes that you can ride for BMX would have to be the Vans Alomars for me. So bottom line, the Vans Alomars are the best BMX shoe that I've ever ridden, and I would recommend them to pretty much anybody. I definitely recommend giving them at least a try. So I've referred a few other friends to riding these too, and they've loved them as well. I've never heard anybody saying any bad things about the shoe, like you do like other shoes like half cabs and stuff like that, and all you hear is, oh, they last maybe 3 months and you're done with them. But so far, these are definitely the longest lasting shoe I've ever ridden. So if you need a long lasting shoe, yes, it is a little bit pricey, but at the same time, it is 100% worth it because you will get your money out of it and you will have to buy less shoes. So I definitely recommend going out and getting you a pair of the Vans Alomars, A-L-O-M-A-R. You can either find them on the Vans site or probably some of your local Vans stores if you have a pretty decently sized Vans store. Mine here is pretty small, so I think they were just out of stock for a little bit. But definitely go get them because they'll last forever. I love these shoes. They protect your feet really well, ankles, and then just feel overall really comfortable. They take a little bit to break in, but once you break them in, they stay like at a good point. Like I know my old Vans, like I could bend them all the way flat without, or all the way in half in maybe 2 to 3 weeks, but these, after riding them for 2 years, it's still like you can push them together, like, but it takes quite a bit of effort, and these don't know. So after you break these in for a little bit, they stay perfect forever. So that's all I have for y'all. If y'all have ever tried these shoes or have any comments or anything about them, please let me know in the comments section. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts about the shoes. If you've tried them before, ridden in them, liked them, didn't like them, I'd love to hear y'all's opinions, and I'll see y'all next time.